there, folks, and welcome to another episode of Michael's Backyard Marina. Today's video is sponsored by LiTime, and I'm bringing you a new product from LiTime. Relatively new in my book. For me, I might have been out for a little while by now, but we got a Group 24 battery here. As you can see, I've been a fan of LiTime for a while. I have two of the larger group batteries. I'm trying to remember if these are Group 34 or 35. Don't quote me on it. I'm trying to look on here to see if it's on here. This one says Group 24, but you can easily see this is a smaller size battery than this one, but this one still packs a powerful punch. It still has 1280 watt hours, 12.8 volts at 100 amp hours with a capacity. This is 12 volt. This one here is the same, 1280 watt hours. So size, depending on where you need to fit it, why not get a smaller package with the same amount of power, right? This one also has handles that fold up here versus a strap type handle, you know. But this video here is about this pair of batteries right here. These are something special about them compared to the ones I've already had for a year or two. Bluetooth capable. I can look right here and tell that my batteries are currently on standby. They're 99% charged. I got 13.3 volts, and when I hook them up to something, it'll tell me exactly how many amps it's drawing. And the cool part about amps and amp hours, it's pretty much a direct correlation. 100 amp hours. If I'm running something at 50 amps draw on these batteries, it will last 2 hours. The math is just that simple. No joke. Well, we're going to get these out on my old 1976 Starcraft, the OG, the thing that started the channel here on the marina, the boat that started it all. The 1976 Starcraft with 120 horse Mercruiser IO, and I've got a Minn Kota Altera trolling motor on it, and we're going to go ahead and plug these batteries into that trolling motor. We're going to dip it in some water in the backyard here, and we're going to show you some live action stuff right here of how these batteries perform and what you can expect to see out of them. Pretty amazing stuff. I'm excited to get these in my boat and excited to show you how they perform. Let's get outside in the yard and let's get the boat uncovered and get busy hooking these bad boys up to my system. We had a heck of a rain last night. I didn't have quite enough support in the front of my boat here, and my boat cover sunk in over here and it took on some water. But we've got it bailed out, and we're gonna start uncovering, so I can pull my casting deck off so I can get to my batteries. Now, like all my other regular fishing boats that I want to take out on the regular and have all suited up to do all kinds of fantastic fun stuff, this one I have set up so I can plug my battery charger in with just a little plug on the other side with a drop cord, and it charges up all three of my batteries. It charges up my trolling motor batteries along with my starter battery for the motor. Okay. Got to get my ladder and get up here so I can pull this casting deck off so I can gain access. Looks like we got some clouds on the horizon. Mother Nature might thwart my plans. And these batteries are light. You're not going to do what I just did there with lead acid batteries. Not a 100 amp hour one for sure. They're heavy. These weigh about 22 to 23 pounds max. At least that's what the bigger one weighs. These weigh, you know, I think they're 20 to 22 pounds, but they're very light, very easy to carry two at a time. All right, we'll have to jump over in there and start connecting things up. I wonder if these will fit in my battery box. I have some valid concerns about that right now. Mainly because these batteries, right now I have these are 64 volt or 64 amp hour 12 volt from Dakota Lithium. A few years ago, when these were just getting hot and popular, it was $1,000 for two of these. Can somebody say ridiculous? But I had to have them. Now, a few short years later, look what they cost. They're pretty darn cheap. So we're gonna probably have to do a little setting these behind here for now, and I'm going to rebuild my battery box because I built it smaller to hold these. And I have to build it a little bit bigger to hold these. Some of you might ask, why do you got a battery box? Well, because it keeps them from shifting around in here too badly. I'm going to see if I can get all these over here without confusing things a little bit too much. Normally if I pull my batteries out, I'll have these all zip tied. Alright, we got her deployed here. We're going to drop her down in. We're filling up the tub so we can simulate water resistance. Down periscope. We'll let that fill up and we'll be back in just a little bit. Meantime, I'm going to take the old batteries and stow them away. So yeah, right now at level 4, this thing will run about 11 hours, it says estimated. I like that feature on this particular app. This is what the app looks like. It shows you your watts, your amperage draw, how much battery voltage you have, 13.2. There's a 98 amp hour capacity left out of 100. It shows 10.77 hours, 11.4, 11, 12. It'll sit there and vary. It's constantly updating itself as to how long it will last. Now, somebody might ask, why is that important, Michael? Why is that so important to you to know exactly how long it's going to last? Well, I'm going to tell you. When you're running this type of Altera and the self-deploy, self-stow feature, when the batteries get too low, now on a lead-acid battery, this thing's designed to detect when the lead-acid battery drops down to a certain voltage, and it will not let you use the cruise control button. It will not let you do several functions. It will not let you anchor. It'll only let you stow it, and that's it, because it says it's thinking, I've only got enough battery left to stow it, and that's it. Because as you can see, with this hanging down off the boat, and you're trolling, and you go to put this away, you can't put it away. It's hard to load your boat with this down in the front onto the trailer. So the nice thing about monitoring your batteries is you'll be able to see exactly how much battery you got left, know how much cushion of, let's call it, time you have before you really need to put this thing away and, you know, and charge it back up. Now, according to this and the way it's currently functioning, this is going to make some noise in the background. You know, I can go out in the morning and I can put in a 10-hour day running at level 4 on my trolling motor. And that's, I tell you what, folks, that's a lot of trolling. And that's a lot of use of the trolling motor at a higher rate than I normally use it at. I'll jump up to 10 sometimes if I'm going from A to B and trying to get to another spot, and then just I'll slow it back down, anchor, or possibly move another shoreline. But these things are pretty darn cool. And I like this app. This connects really easily. Just to give you an example, we're not on here. We're going to hit the LiTime button. It's not going to be connected. You hit the little, pick a battery, and it shows both batteries here. Hit the little Bluetooth signal. Connect, connect, connect. Boom, it's connected, showing you live action. The other battery, hit Bluetooth connect. It'll connect. And there again, in seconds, you know exactly where you stand with your batteries. That's pretty cool. We're gonna let this eat for a little bit. We'll go inside. I want to share some other information with you. Now, folks, as you know, I'm not a wiring expert. You just saw the wiring mess I had in there hooking those batteries up. I plan to neaten it up a little bit more. The more wiring and more things I do on my boats, the better techniques, and I watch other people's videos, the better techniques I develop. And I'm gonna have all this stuff I've got right now hooked in it, so there's only like 4 wires going to those batteries. And then I'll have me a, let's call it a power strip or connection board or something like that. Fuse block, if you will. But right now, if you've got your 2 batteries, this is looking at the top, how these are wired up in case you don't know how to wire batteries up. For a 24 volt or 12 volt trolling motor, here's a positive, here's a negative. Here's a positive, here's a negative. Now, in order to do a 12 volt system, you just go straight positive to negative. It's just that simple. If you want to do a 24, this would be 12 volt. Just don't look at this battery at all. You got one battery. Now you're doing 2 batteries. And you still want to do 12 volts. That's still pretty easy. Just line your batteries up a little differently. So they're like this. You got a positive and a negative. I'll draw my negative in the right direction. Negative here. Then you just hook a cable here, and a cable here, and this cable here, and you go out to your trolling motor. That'll give you twice as many. You know, your 100 amp hours will last you 200 amp hours worth of time because you're piggybacking 2 batteries together. So now you got a 24 volt system. This is simple. Once again, very simple. We're going to line these batteries up this way. So now you're going to have your negative terminal hooked into the positive terminal here, negative here, into positive here. What that does, negative, positive to negative, and then positive to negative, is called putting them in series. I did that wrong. So now what we're going to do is hook these up in series. So this time you want to take your positive and connect it to your negative here, and your positive and connect it to your negative here. What this allows us to do is the positive is going to come through here, go through here, through the battery, through here and out. And now you'll have 24 volts. If you flip your battery around, I've done that before. So that's what you saw. I had a jumper on mine, which what it did for me, just to give you an idea. Let's see here. So mine had like a positive and a negative and a positive. What I did is I had a jumper wire that went from here to here. I hooked the positive to the negative. And then I had my power wires coming off of here. My positive here, my negative here. Pretty simple. In, out. Crisscross applesauce like I did before. Just as long as you go negative to positive, or positive to negative, and then positive out, negative out, you've got a 24 volt setup here out of 2 12 volt batteries. Very, very simple. Now this will give you your 100 amp hours, but it's going to be drawn at 24 volts, which is going to draw more power. Your more powerful trolling motors will draw more energy. That's all there is to it, and it won't last as long. But the 100 amp hours is nice. There again, like I said outside, the math is very simple. If you got a 100 amp hour battery, you're drawing 20 amps on it, it's going to last 5 hours. That's just as easy as it gets to calculate, folks. I can't make it any simpler than that. One thing, the Bluetooth LiFePo that I have out there from LiTime, and showing you what I showed on my phone, is I can predict exactly how long the battery is going to last. Because right now, when I had these batteries that aren't Bluetooth, hooked it up there, I had no idea what kind of amperage draw I had. I had no idea how depleted the batteries were. I do have a little voltmeter on my dash that tells me what the batteries are currently at. But the bad part about these, and these are, no negatives about these type of batteries, is they go flat, flat, flat. If any of you guys have cordless drills or cordless equipment, you know the batteries run, and then boom, they fall on their face like that. Well, you want to know when that face fall happens on the setup that I have here. You want to know exactly how much time you have left. The voltage can hold flat for a long time, and when it starts to drop a little bit, then all of a sudden it'll drop a lot. So that's what you got to watch for. That's the only difference between a lead acid and these batteries, besides these have a longer life cycle. And there again, like I said, the life cycle is very easy to calculate. And I've done this on other videos, and I'll do it one more time here for you folks. So you guys get out your little calculator on your phone just for funsies. Now let's pretend these have a 10-year warranty. And I'm going to tell you how they come up with that 10-year warranty. And it's got a lot of cushion built in my opinion, which is awesome because you're going to get your 10 years. 4,000 cycles. So let's just say we go out. We got 4,000 cycles. Let's just say we go out fishing every single day of the year. And we run them down, charge them up. Run them down, charge them up. Every single day of the year. That's 365. So now divide that by 365. What do you get? 10.95 years. And that's if you use it every single day. So now if you paid $400 for these batteries, for a pair of batteries, let's just say $500, just $400, $500, I don't care what you want to call it. Say $400, right? divided by 10 years, $40 a year for your batteries. $500 you paid for it. You're going to pay $50 a year. $600 for a pair of batteries and it'll last you 10 years. $60 for your batteries per year. That's cheap. Your lead acid batteries will not last that long. They absolutely will not last that long, and they weigh a ton. All right, enough salesman, okay? I encourage you guys to check the link in the descriptions below for any codes, discount codes you may have down there. And as this video grows old in age, as more discount codes come to me, I'll throw those in there as well. So always check the description down below. If you're looking on your phone or you're looking somewhere on your TV, you can arrow over and see where it says more. And when it says more, click that. You'll see links in the description. You click on those, they'll take you straight to the websites that have the discounts and or description or any other information about these batteries. All right, that's all I got to say about that, folks. I can't get it any simpler than that. Like I said, these things are amazing batteries. That set I've got out there in the boat running right now is not my first rodeo with batteries. As you saw, I had Dakota lithiums that I bought about 5 years ago. Actually, it's 6 years ago now, probably. I paid $1,000 for two 54 amp hour batteries. Then, when I saw these go on sale, I bought 3 of these 100 amp hour batteries for $1,000. Quite the discount, right? You might say, why do you have 3? Well, I have more than one boat, guys. And once I had experience with these LiFePO batteries, I don't go back to lead acid. The weight reduction, the way they work, the way they function, the way they charge, the battery management systems on them, I mean, it's all done for you. You don't get any easier than that. So, when LiTime reached out to me and says, hey, would you like to try a new, do a video on our batteries? I said, heck yeah, I would. This would be the first time they sponsored me. And the cool part is, I said, only if you send me the group size 24, and only if you send me 2, and only if you, send me the Bluetooth versions. And they're like, well, we can only send you one. I said, then no deal. No deal. Then they come back to me on the email the next day and says, oh, yeah, we'll do it. And I said, all right. And they go, here's a contract. I'm like, nope. I read the contract. I'm not signing any contracts. If you guys don't want to do business with me on a handshake deal, then we can't do business. I'm a little bit old school that way. And they said, the next day they said, we're sending you 2 batteries. So they trust me. And you guys know me well enough that if I say it's good, it's good. If it's crap, I'll tell you it's crap. That's not the case with these. These are awesome. This is an awesome product. And these won't be the last ones in my life. There'll be more. As more boats and more opportunities. I've actually got one of these on my car trailer hooked up to my winch because it has a lot of amp hours. It reduces the tongue weight by a lot. So now I have a lighter battery up front in my battery box and not some heavy lead acid battery that's going to ooze and goo and eventually start making battery posts, nastiness. These don't do that. All right. I think we'll go back out there and check on the trolling motor one more time and we'll wrap this up. Definitely some low light conditions out here right now. And here you can see, here's my remote that I've had with this one all along. I've got it set at prop 4. 7:31 p.m. I don't think that clock's quite right. More like 8:31. Yeah, 8:31. Let's go back to the app here. See what we got currently going on. We'll hit the Bluetooth connect. Seconds later. So it's been running now for a little bit. We got 96 amp hours left. At this current speed, it's still only going to last 11.4 hours. I don't know if that's enough. That's plenty. Trust me, that is plenty. So, like I said, this is a pretty cool application here. Like it shows you your watts you're drawing. And there again, once again, your balance on your batteries, you click that, it tells you, you go, got it. And you go, it tells you how my cell's looking. Your cell batteries are functioning optimally. Perfect. How's the BMS working? Oh, absolutely, running smoothly. Okie dokie. And the cool part about this app, Don't matter how many Bluetooth batteries you have, you can hook them up. There's just one. They go by number here. There's a 585, 571, and then whatever number from there on. And you could actually rename these batteries as the battery 1, battery 2, or in this case, Starcraft 1, Starcraft 2, so on and so forth. All right. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative and helpful. And I hope you make the decision to buy LiTime batteries and make your life a better place to live. Because honestly, it'll probably be the last batteries you buy for 10 plus years. When it comes to keeping your batteries will probably outlast your trolling motor. And that's fine because these are transferable items. All right, be good to one another. And remember, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. And I'll see you on the next video if I'm lucky. I'm very lucky. Awesome.